Okay, let's try a video on your lab final for HVAC 101. So here's the list that you have posted into class: component identification, sequence of operation. With an HVAC meter, test a high limit switch in two different ways: by resistance and by voltage. Also, jump out the blower on the control board or the thermostat to make the blower run, and then check the amps on the blower. So I'll do the component identification first. These are the burners. Down right here, this brass piece, that's a spud. Sorry. Here's a gas valve. Coming out of the gas valve is the manifold. Here I have the induced draft motor that has a capacitor on it. Here's a pressure switch. Back in here, I got two wires going to a component that's hard to see. That would be the igniter. Here, on the opposite side of the burners, from the igniter is a single wire. That would be the flame proving rod. Pressure switch. Down here, I have a control board. I have a transformer. And I have a blower motor inside of this housing. All right. So that's component identification. Sequence of operation. It's posted into class. I got a call for heat from the thermostat. Not right now, but that's the first step. Call for heat. Safety check. It's going to check all the safeties, including the pressure switch, to make sure the pressure switch is open and all the rest of the safeties are closed, which includes your high limit switch right back there. So call for heat, safety check. Next thing that happens, the induced draft motor should run. Next thing, the pressure switch should close. Next thing, the igniter should come on. Now the gas valve's going to open. So now we got fire. Then we have to prove the fire with the flame proof. Now it's up and running, and it's still running. The last thing is the blower comes on. That's your sequence of operation. Wow. Let's put this way back here. All right. So we've done the component identification. We've done the sequence of operation. Okay, now we need to do this high limit switch. First of all, you got to be able to find it. So we're going to check it in two different ways. One's with resistance, and one's with voltage. So I can't see the camera at the same time. I'm going to set this over to ohms, resistance. With the power off. I'm going to pull at least one wire. I like to pull them both. I got the power off, so I don't have to worry about this wire touching the metal or anything. Then I'm simply going to come here and I'm going to measure across the switch. So from one side of the switch to the other side of the switch, hold the lead steady and firm. The meter settles down. Don't know if you can see it. And it says about 5 ohms. No, it doesn't. Well, wow, dude. Two ohms. Okay, so then I'm going to ask you, is the switch open or closed? Well, at 2 ohms, that's close to 0 ohms. So I didn't lose much going across the switch. So the switch is closed. All right, that's that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and plug my wires back in. Power's still off. Okay, I got both the wires in. Now, I have the thermostat. The fan is set to auto, and it's off. Come over here, give us some power. Oh, it's already got power on. Sorry. And then this one is a dual fuel, so it runs with the heat pump. So I'm still gonna leave it on auto. I'm gonna come over here to the heating section, and I'm gonna set it, in this case, to emergency heat. Can't see the meter. Anyway, I'm going to change my meter to volts. Things already went all the way up to igniter. It's going to open up the gas valve. I'm going to find a common, which I can find one on a control board real easy. In this case, it says C. I'm going to go to one side of the switch, and I'll go to the other side of the switch. So I got 29 coming in, and I got 29 going out. That's it. So down here, I'm going to reset the height on this pretty soon. Down here on the board, the thermostat wires come in. This was C. It says C underneath there. This was C. So I went from here up to one side of the limit switch, stayed here, went to the other side of the limit switch. I had voltage on both sides of the limit switch. So, because I had voltage on both sides of the limit switch, means it would let the voltage through. So that's a closed switch. So I measured that switch is closed. I'll try and pause the video. Can't remember which button it is. I think it's this one. Okay, we're back. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this meter in the shot, so you just don't have to believe me when I tell you something. That's not in there. It's all right. Still not there. Well, I'm just not going to be able to get it in here. I've got to hang it on a thread right now. Okay, so the next thing that the paper said, there was two different things. One says, jump out the call for the blower motor to come on. Okay, so I got my thermostat set to off and auto, so there's no call for the fan. What I'm gonna do, I got a blinky light, so I probably got the 24 volts, but all I'm gonna do is I'm going to come here to G. That's G. It happens to be a green wire. I'm going to get on G. Try and keep it off of C. That's too close. Nice. Back on G again. Maybe that won't touch the C. You can't touch the C with the hot wire, you're screwed. So here is, I'm going to jump it over to R, which would be the hot wire. I heard a click, click on the relay. You can hear the fan running at its circulator speed. So the fan is running. Now I can do my amp draw. I want to use the common wire or the neutral wire. I'll hit the select button on this because I don't have amps displayed. Here's the amps displayed. So I'm going to set on voltage and hit the select to get the amps. I'll use my amp clamp. I'm going to go around the neutral wire, which happens to be this bottom wire right here. Just only around that one wire. And this blower is pulling 4.5 amps. That's everything. Thank you.